Hello everyone, and once again welcome back to my channel Server Gyan. My name is Dr. Lokendra Singh, and today we are going to discuss about a couple of interview questions which are related to especially AWS load balancers. So I'm going to tell you that. So the very first thing here is that how do you select load balancer for your application requirement? It means you need to understand that what type of load balancer you want, what protocol you have which you want to load balance with the help of AWS load balancer. These are the things you will have to keep in mind. So guys, first of all, like we have three type of load balancer we should understand, like application load balancer, network load balancer, and classic load balancer. So application load balancers are especially designed to load balance for protocol of HTTP and HTTPS. Network load balancers are used for TCP, UDP, and TLS, and these used to support HTTP, TCP, and HTTPS both. So these are the load balancer which are of previous generation. These are no more although you can create this sort of load balancers, but these will go off very soon. So which protocol does application load balancer support? So guys, over here we need to understand that it supports HTTP and HTTPS. These are the two protocols, as you can see here, that these are the two protocols which application load balancer supports, right? Apart from that, what are the steps to enable HTTP2 with this load balancer? So let us see that if we have any load balancer, let us see if we have. So what are the steps to enable HTTP2 protocol on the top of Elastic Load Balancer? We are going to see that. So yes, we have a load balancer. We are going to see that how do we enable HTTP2 protocol with that, right? So guys, this is the description of load balancer: name, ARN, DNS, and other components here. Although I could have told you in the in simple manner, but obviously I would like to take you the particular place where we can enable it, right? Guys, keep this thing in mind. By default, HTTP2 is enabled with the application load balancer, but still, if you want, you can enable or disable it from here, right? So there are a couple of new options which are recently added to this particular stack, like deletion protection. So this has been more than like year it's been. So you can enable deletion protection just like you used to perform this operation for EC2 machine. Same thing can be performed now for load balancer as well. Idle timeout. So the number of seconds to wait before an idle connection is closed, right? HTTP2 protocol, you can enable or disable from here. By default, it is enabled. You can disable it by unchecking this checkbox, right? Drop invalid headers. So indicates whether HTTP headers with invalid headers fields are removed by load balancer, true, or routed to the targets, false. So if you enable it or you disable it, right? So based on that, you can do that. Now, desync mitigation mode. What is this? Determines how the load balancer handles requests that might pose a security risk to your application. So defensive, strict, or monitor. So these are the particular things which you can, so you can enable it, right? Access log, if you want to enable, you can enable it. For like getting access log, you will have to provide a like S3 bucket. If it exists, then it's okay. If it does not, then you will have to check this box in order to create that S3 bucket. So AWS Elastic Load Balancer will create one S3 bucket on your behalf. Well, I'm not going to perform any operation here because like that was just for elaborating things. Does Elastic Load Balancer support stateful application? Yes, it supports. So now there is a particular new term, a stateful application. So if we just try to check what is stateful and what is stateless application, so let us go to Google and let us just type in stateful versus stateless. So we will see, let us go to images. First of all, we can see a couple of images. So guys, in a nutshell, whenever you feel, okay, this is the example. We can see that here. So whenever like we have data like stateless application, we are going to display something like data and events. Fine. Some data is like fetched and some events will get triggered. So that is example of it. Now when you talk about like there is some database included, fine, there is some computing resource required. So that is known as stateful, and when there is no database connection required, that is known as stateless. So yes, Elastic Load Balance support is stateful as well as stateless load applications. Now, what are the steps to add SSL certificate with Elastic Load Balancer? Okay, let us go with it. Let us see that we will go to listener. First of all, we will add a listener here, right? So we are going to add HTTPS listener. Now, what are the default actions? I'm going to forward it to maybe some target group, whatever target group I have here. Now, it will not allow me to save it. It will ask me to create a certificate. Maybe I can import a certificate directly here. I can associate a certificate from ACM or from IAM. So by default, recommended one is ACM. It means Amazon Certificate Manager is the recommended one. What we will do here is we will open this particular like ACM certificate manager link. We will go here. Now we can generate a SSL certificate. And now what are the steps to generate SSL certificate? Maybe we can define your astic.servergyan.com, and after that what we are going to do, we will go ahead. Then after, whether we want to like either we want to have DNS validation or we want to have email validation, based on which we will go ahead. We will provide a name. Obviously we have been providing tags, so maybe a demo, whatever name we want to provide. We will hit review, and after that we will confirm certificate. So after DNS validation, this certificate will be available, and as soon as we will refresh this page, so for sure within this drop down list that certificate will come up, and we will select the certificate from this particular location. So guys, this is how we add a SSL certificate to AWS Listener, right? So AWS Listener is available, and these are the steps using which we can add SSL certificate with Elastic Load Balancer. Now, next question here is, can I associate SSL certificate from IAM with ELB? Yes, as I was showing you that there are two options available. Either you can associate with from IAM or from ACM. Can I associate multiple SSL certificate with ELB? Yes, by default we can add multiple certificate with single load balancer. So based on the domain name which will be forwarded to Elastic Load Balancer, so like appropriate certificate will be associated by load balancer with that particular request. Can I return a fixed response from ALB? Yes, you can return a fixed response. How you are going to do that? You will go here, edit and view rules. Maybe you can add a new rule here. You will insert a new rule, maybe host base header. So I want, if the request is maybe www.abc.com, and like the particular maybe I can add some other rule here. Maybe the particular path is /admin. Then I want to return it a fixed response. Like return fixed response, I can say like it will give 404, and after that it will say you are on wrong page. You are on WRONG, wrong page. Yes, this is the particular thing which I can do. It means whenever someone will hit like www.abc.com and /admin, then obviously the person is going to get this message, you are on a wrong page, right? Response code will be 404 and text will be you are on a wrong page. So this is how we can do that. So does ELB support SSL termination? Yes. So SSL termination means, let us say we have servers. So let us go back here, and let us say that you have a load balancer here. This is your load balancer. Fine. This is your ELB, Elastic Load Balancer. This is, and with the help of this load balancer, what you are going to do? You have couple of target groups here. Like TG, you can call that. Maybe you can have one more TG here. So what is going to happen? This load balancer will accept traffic on port number 443, and with the help of like SSL termination mechanism, what it will do? It can forward request onto these servers on port 80, and whenever the server will respond back, so this load balancer will respond back on port number 443 only. That is known as SSL termination, and this is how you can do that, right? So okay, what is next? Like how can I protect my web servers running behind ELB? Obviously, like you can protect these servers. Either you can run these servers without public IP address. Second thing, you can associate one uh, that is known as WAF. It means Web Application Firewall. You can associate that with your Elastic Load Balancer, and that will help you to protect your instances which are running behind firewall. So we will go to Load Balancer, and after going to Load Balancer, what you will do here is you will integrate like integrated services. So these are the services, like you can include like global escalator, you can include config, you can enable WAF. So based on which, like you can include a WAF, or maybe you can include a shield along with WAF with this particular load balancer, right? So this is how you can protect your service. You can protect your servers running behind web server. So what is layer 4 and layer 7 load balancing? So layer 4, it means whenever you select a network load balancer, so that will be example of your Elastic Load Balancer. Like if I go here, so this is going to work on layer 7 HTTP, and this is going to work on layer 4. So this is what like layer 4 and layer 7 load balancing. Application load balancer will work on layer 7, and network load balancer will work on layer 4. So I hope this has been informative. Thank you so very much for watching this video. If you have any further question, you can type in comment box. I shall be happy to assist you on that. If you are new to my channel, so please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so very much. Have a good time and happy learning.